What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about DIA today at the request of JS14. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to address what we're in the midst of right here. This is a chart pattern, a very famous chart pattern known as a bull flag. If you're not on board with that, right, if you don't see the flagpole and the flag itself, if you don't see this as a bull flag, that's fine. Can we at least agree that it is some kind of a falling wedge, right? It does look to be like a dropping wedge, a decreasing wedge, whatever. Falling wedge is what I know them by, whatever you want to call it, right? If this is to be a bull flag, if it's the way that I would measure it, if this is the pattern that I'm recognizing, and it is a bull flag, the way that you would measure this is you take the low to the high of the pattern, and I hope you can understand why I take this low, not the low over here, right? This was the low of the move, but this was the low of the bull flag. Does that make more sense? I don't know. I feel like looking at it, it seems pretty obvious. But from that low there, you would measure out, you'd put this basically right at the base of the flag itself right there. If I could just get it just a little bit lower, man. I got to like put it a little lower than I assumed to. The measure move would be as follows, something that would take you up to about $2.48. You're at 67 cents now, so $2.48. $2.48 is the given target. If we take a high here to a low, what do our fibs point us to? Man, that takes you above the 1618. So here's the deal. It's not common, though it does happen, where you wick above the 1618. Sometimes that happens. Oftentimes, if you get above the 1618, you look to move to the 1886-200 level, okay? With measure moves, they're just ideas, is how I like to say it, right? They're not requirements. They're not prophecies. They're not obligations. They're just ideas. You can fall short of that idea. And I would say this 1618 is a lot more significant in my opinion. The 1618 extension is a lot more significant. It's making me stutter. It's so significant at 228.5 cents there that I would put this more on the table than the measure move itself, right? It's more significant than the measure move in my opinion, right? And that would put you at 228. You're at 66.8 cents now. But again, the measure move is just an idea. Perhaps if you do hit this, then what I would say is instead of stopping at the 1618, you would go up here, which would put your target at 287 to 316. So this measure move is doing jack all for us right now, right? It's throwing me in two different directions. So I figure the best way to kind of identify this, it's kind of the way I like to identify things anyways, is with a given range, right? Something between 229 and 287 is likely where you're going to go, with a genuine possibility that you could go really close to that 228.5, like with lethal accuracy. That might be exactly where you top off here, you know, probably sometime in February. I would think that it would be the middle of February that you make that move. I assume that this coming week, we're on the 3-day time frame here, so, you know, we're ending the week today. This is the last 19 hours of the week right now. I think this coming week, if we look at this pattern right now, I'm just going to delete all these indicators. We're like this, right? I think this next week we're going to be like this, broken out of it, and then the following week we'll continue to go away from it, and then sometime in February, middle of February, end of February, I would expect that we're at our next kind of target area, which again is anywhere from about $2.28 to about $2.87, somewhere in that zone, right? But a move just like that, it's pretty on par with what we saw here, right? Very, very on par with that. So just asking for a little simple replica, okay, based on that context. Let's pretend we don't know anything. Let's erase everything that I just said in this video and start from a new kind of point of view. If we take this fib now from a high to a low, you can see that you hit your 1414. You found support here, and you pulled all the way back down to your 69 to find support there. When we do get back above the 1272, right, $1.12, that's how you know it's time to move up to at least $1.68, right? That'd be your next target. The fact that you hit your 1414, the way that these fibs work, right, you pulled back here, your next target at least would be the next given fib, $1.68, $1.69. And then from there, I'd probably say if it's not there, it'd be the next fib. So something between this range at $2.30 to $1.69. I like that because $2.30 lines up pretty well with $2.28, right? It lines up pretty well. So showing that 230 area really is likely an area that we probably stop at if I really had to guess. So that is what I'm going to stick with. You're at 66.8 cents now. That kind of a movement by the end of February, again, is kind of what my expectation would be. I suspect we'll start the breakout tomorrow, or like this, maybe not tomorrow, this next week. Well, tomorrow is the beginning of the next week, but we'll start it next week sometime. That doesn't mean that we'll be all the way up here next week, but we'll start the move that leads us up here next week. 241%. That's a little bit above average from what I would expect you to see in the average altcoin, but that's okay. You're already moving up at an above average rate. So it all makes sense to me, man. I don't know. I got nothing else for you guys. So if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Let's go over some all-time high predictions real quick, okay? And leave you with the icing on the cake there, if you will, right? From a high to a low here. High to a low. What is DIA at right now? DIA. $80 million market cap. So fortunately for anybody investing in this thing, the sky is the limit, literally, right? With an $80 million market cap, to see 100x, you're at $8 billion, $8 billion, and that is not a small feat to accomplish, but it is something that is very accomplishable. The average coin can do that. So $65 price, again, kind of this idea. You're just above the 1.6, 1.8, so either you'd stop below there, maybe you don't see a 100x, you see a 66x, or maybe you go a little bit above that. Instead of seeing a 100x directly, you see 163x or 164x. That's right at $110, that psychological level of $100 providing resistance. Oftentimes with those psychological levels, you'll either fall just shy of them or you will exceed them by just a little bit. So I like that $110 target. I don't think you'd get too much higher than that, but it's possible. I mean, this it sounds crazy. It might sound crazy. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. But this thing's more than capable of seeing a $400 price by the end of the cycle. It is. It absolutely is. And it might sound crazy here, but coins like this, every single cycle, we see these multi 100x's every single cycle. Is this going to be that coin that sees a 600x? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I wouldn't count on it, but don't sell yourself short. It's possible. It's an achievable market cap. More achievable, I would think, is something between $45 and $110. You're at 67 cents now. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. You guys take care. Bye.